Yeah, so everything's just really coming together, and that's my point of this is about us. This is about us hitting our peak at the right time and just trying to grow, and we're going to do that. We're going to make sure that doesn't stop. We're not satisfied with this. I can promise you that.
A blowout was anticipated, and a blowout is what they got. The Dallas Cowboys get the win over the Giants in round 2. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, in knockout fashion. 28-0 by halftime, 49-17, the final in AT&T Stadium. It's Victory Monday, a good bounce-back win for the Cowboys in Week 10 to move to 6-3. Welcome into Cowboys Flashback. I'm Nicole Hutchison. Make it 12 straight for the boys in AT&T Stadium. The Cowboys still hold the longest active home game win streak in the NFL and the longest by a Cowboys team since 1979 to 1981. Thanksgiving came early for Dak Prescott. He feasted against the New York defense, throwing for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, making it his 10th career 400-yard game. It wasn't glitz and glamour for this offense early on, with red zone struggles creeping in on the opening drive, but 2 drives later, Cee Dee Lamb gave them a spark, scoring his first rushing touchdown since his rookie season in 2020. The Cowboys were in the driver's seat the rest of the way, outgained the Giants by 468 yards, the largest total yardage in an NFL game in 44 years, a complete 180 from Week 1, where the Cowboys' defense and special teams were to credit. But this time, all 3 phases came together with the Cowboys offense, the star of the show.
It feels good, honestly, it does. Great chemistry, and we're just going to continue to build, man. We're going to continue to build. This isn't about me rather than it's about this team. Obviously, we've got a hell of a defense, and we just got to make sure that we continue putting up points, allow those guys to hunt the other quarterback, and be tough. It starts with them. It really does, right? We can talk about, Cee Dee's going for 3 games, 150, Brandon having the 170 game, me playing as well as I am. None of that happens without these guys up front busting their asses and fighting. And that's a great defensive line right there. Obviously, big time. Starting in the middle with Big Lawrence, Dexter Lawrence, and you've got to stop those guys and shut those guys down and hold them off for us to be able to attack downfield. And they did that. And then, as we said, we've been able to get in the run game going, creating holes and just having that balance. Communication, obviously, right up front, right guard Zach Martin through the rest of them. Tyron's playing some of his best ball, as we've talked about. 2 games in a row. Haven't necessarily seen the film, but I can tell you I wasn't worried about that side. You know what I mean? So between him and Tyler doing their thing, and as you said, bounce back. Speaking of bounce back, Terrence Steele had a hell of a game, right? So that's what it's about, us all complimenting each other. Those guys knowing that I'm going to work with them, you know what I mean, set me a pocket. If I have to get out, I have to get out. That's part of it, right? And, just stay on your guy, stay on his hip, and we'll make plays and allow us to, get this thing going outside, and we can do that. We'll be a tough team to beat.
This is a hard league, and you get in situations, whether it's health and, whatever else is going on. But, that's why, I just talk about it all the time. When you don't have all your players, nobody cares, So, I've been on both sides of that. So I think it's just, you got to keep your eye on the target, and that's what I think our guys did a good job this week. It was important for us to go out there and play better than we did last week. So, the only thing that's, frustrating to me is, the penalties in the second half. But other than that, I thought our guys totally took control of the game early and commanded it for 4 quarters.
The Cowboys putting up video game-like numbers on Sunday. They've now outscored their opponents 160-50 at home and have outscored the New York Giants 89-17 in 2023. I'll be breaking down how they did it later in the show, but when we come back, Savannah Humoller joins the show with her Week 10 Playmakers of the Game. We'll be right back.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys are back in the win column after a 32-point win over the New York Giants in Week 10, putting the Cowboys at 6-3 in the season. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Savannah Humoller. Now, Savannah, Long list of guys you can give your
Yes.
game ball to, but if you had to pick, who are you going with? Let's start with this offense.
We are going to start off with our record-breaking Cee Dee Lamb, who is my offensive player of the game. Lamb has recorded at least 10 receptions and 150 receiving yards in 3 consecutive games, earning him an NFL record. Against the New York Giants, Lamb had a total of 11 receptions, 151 yards, and 1 touchdown. Lamb is the first player in Cowboys history with 3 consecutive games with 10 or more receptions. This also ties Justin Jefferson for the most 10-catch games in the NFL since 2022. After the game, Lamb was asked what statement he is making about the type of receiver he is. His response: "I'm the top receiver in the game, and there's no question about it." I love this confidence heading into Week 11. And moving on to defense, the tank, DeMarcus Lawrence, gets my defensive player of the game.
Who had no chance. 2nd and 17, DeVito's in trouble. He's going down again. Lawrence is the first one through this time.
Tommy DeVito was no match for the Pro Bowl defensive end and the rest of this Cowboys defense. This was Lawrence's 3rd sack of the season with some help from Mozzie Smith. And on to the next, Nicole. We got Week 11 coming up, but that was just fun to watch yesterday.
Yeah, very fun. Dak Prescott actually saying that they're peaking at the right time. I believe it. I love to see it. Right now, though, we're going to be right back here on Cowboys Flashback to break down how the Cowboys did it. Offense, defense, special teams, everything, you name it. We'll be right back.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Records on top of records were broken in AT&T Stadium on Sunday. The Dallas Cowboys bringing out the brooms for the season sweep over the Giants by a combined 72 points. It's the largest margin in a sweep of an NFC East opponent since 1969. How the Cowboys did it? Letting Brandon Cooks cook a season-high 9 catches for a career-high 173 receiving yards and a touchdown. He's been trusting the process this season, waiting for his moment. It came Sunday, and he delivered.
I think at the end of the day, it just means really just continue, like I always tell the other guys, trusting the process. When your number called, to be able to take advantage of your opportunities, because when the ball come your way, it's going to come. And when it does, just go out there and make plays.
You talked about the competitor and you wanting to contribute.
Yeah.
It's been a long journey for you the last couple of years. What
Yeah.
does this kind of game feel like?
It's a blessing. Like the word talk about, don't grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you'll reap a harvest if you don't give up. It's been a hard, tough couple of years, but my faith and my work ethic and my family, my wife and my kids just continue to push me to keep going. This one's sweet for sure.
You guys put a lot of work into this passing game from spring to this point. The first 6 weeks, only 6 passing touchdowns. Now Dak has 11 in the last 3 games. What does this stretch felt like?
I think it's been great. Obviously, it felt great. Like we said all along, we're going to continue to trust the man that we have in this building. Like I always say, it's going to come. And for that to be the case these last handful of weeks, just goes to show that we're going to continue to trust our system. And guys going to make plays.
This is the 5th time you guys have been so
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
What does that say about the ceiling for this team, what you guys are able to do?
I think what it says first and foremost is just going out there handling games like this that you're supposed to handle. As far as the ceiling, we don't know what that is, because at the end of the day, we just want to continue to show up and turn some of those losses that we had into wins in those type of games.
Can you speak to the value of like Jalen Brooks and
Yeah,
guys get
yeah,
time while the
yeah.
veteran starters are watching from the
Yeah.
sideline? It's happened every home game.
Yeah,
this year.
I think that's a huge value, because at the end of the day, like Coach McCarthy talks about, you're going to need all hands on deck. So for them to be able to go out there and get actual game reps is more important than most people would think.
What was it like to see MG?
Yeah, huge, because like I always talk to MG about, just continue to trust it, never forget who he is, and I think today showed that. 2 catches for, I believe, 70-something yards. He's an explosive player, so it was sweet to be able to see that.
When you see a guy who's
Yeah.
had his struggles
Yeah.
and work so hard
Yeah.
and have that,
Yeah.
what does that mean to you?
it means everything, because at the end of the day, it's going to take us all right? And, he's a freak of nature, and tonight showed that. I just wanted to continue for him to keep going because I believe so much in him.
Well, you can't open up the passing game without the run game. For the first time in franchise history, the Cowboys had 2 rushers with over 50 rushing yards and multiple receivers over 150 receiving yards. It was the first time Rico Dowdle actually saw more than 7 carries, and he exploded for 79 yards on 12 carries and a touchdown. A couple of offensive guys cashing in with good performances. Michael Gallup letting everybody know he's still here. 2 receptions, 79 yards, and a touchdown. Jalen Brooks making the most of his first game time of action in 2023. Jake Ferguson became the first tight end to catch a touchdown in 3 straight games. But Cee Dee Lamb, the highlight of the night. He now holds the NFL record for 150-plus receiving yards in 3 straight games. I caught up with him post-game. Here's what he had to say. Cee Dee, the first Dallas Cowboy player to record 3 straight games with more than 150 receiving yards. So what does that mean for you?
A lot, man. I'm blessed to be a part of this organization. Definitely blessed to set records and the standard. Shout out to my teammates. Appreciate Dak for feeding me the ball and the O-line for protecting.
Yeah. You talk about the trust with you and Dak and how it's built and grown over the last couple of years, last 2 years. But how have you seen it really improve the past couple of weeks?
We're on schedule. I'm trusting in him. He's trusting that I'm gonna win my one-on-one. And when it kind of goes like that, I feel like that's when it's easier for the both of us. I find him, he find me.
This is something that I feel like people are saying is an emergence of Cee Dee Lamb, but you've been doing this since college. You've been doing this last year. How much is this more so of you just reminding people of what you can do?
I feel like it goes, a little under the radar. A lot of people don't like the Cowboys, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I'm grateful to be here, grateful to keep putting up these numbers, and I'm going to go out week in and week out because my team deserves it and put it on the show.
You had a rushing touchdown in this game. How would you describe your versatility, being able to come out of the backfield and do some things back there?
I just want to get in the end zone, no matter how it is. So playing football for a while, started out at running back, so be able to get a carry for end zone. My insides are jumping right now.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was a long evening for Giants rookie quarterback Tommy DeVito taking a beating from the Cowboys defense. He was sacked 5 times, and the Cowboys defense held him to just 86 passing yards. The Giants went 0 for 12 on 3rd down tries and finished with 172 yards of offense, all while Deron Bland being a menace in the secondary, catching his 5th pick of the season. But up next, George Teague joins the show to break down some plays of the game. We'll be right back here on Cowboys Flashback.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
All 3 phases coming together nicely in Week 10 for the Dallas Cowboys, but the Cowboys offense straight up putting on a clinic against the Giants. I had to put it like that. I mean, that's the only way to really put it, George.
That's the way it happened. You're talking about a clinic, running the ball, throwing the ball.
Man.
It was fun to watch as a fan, just to see the excitement of the crowd. It was a good one.
Good one, especially for Cee Dee Lamb, making history as the first and only Cowboys player to record more than 150 receiving yards in 3 straight games. What did you see from him out of the jump?
Well, you know what? Something about that 88 that makes him special, and just seeing the way that his confidence is just exuding across the board. It's a throw me the ball without saying throw me the ball, and now it's even hand me the ball.
Yep.
Because I can make everything work.
Yeah, especially on this he had the first touchdown of the game. You're seeing him make some plays out of the run game, and they're being creative using him in that run game. What did you see from him?
Can you say that word louder?
They're being creative in the run game.
Because this is unbelievable. When I saw this play, I was like, hold up, wait a minute. There's a lot going on here, right? So there's a bunch that you need to see. I want you to first watch what our guard does. Really want you to see what Schoolmaker does, okay? That is a big one. And then, of course, you're going to get the run by Cee Dee going this way, okay? And when you're watching Schoon, he's going to start like this, come back out, and block the corner. That is a hard block to make, all right? So
The linebacker's in conflict. Number 58 in conflict because he has to watch Pollard the entire time. So he's coming over here, but the run is going the other way. Schoolmaker comes back to the left, flips back around to the right to go take on a corner. Who doesn't have a chance? And, you know, it's an easy walk-in touchdown for 88. I got to get his
yeah.
I don't know what the thing he does.
He goes like this, something like that, but that's for a first down, so I don't really know. It's like a little white noise.
That's right.
Something like that.
That is an awesome design play.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. His first rushing touchdown since his rookie season. So shout out to Cee Dee Lamb. But we've got to talk about Jake Ferguson, right? We made a play about Luke Schoonmaker making a good block there, but they've really been good as far as its pass catching as well. So what have you seen from Jake Ferguson, especially now making his third straight game with a touchdown?
Red zone target fanatic now. Yeah. We were worried about those earlier in the year. Not so much right now. And great look at putting guys in conflict. This first guy, his eyes have to be through Dak to the running backs because he has to take on the run. The problem is he has to cover Jake Ferguson man-to-man at the same time when he's running away from him, right? So that's very hard. And then last thing you need to see is Pollard makes a great block right there. All right, so if you watch the linebacker, he has to play the run, so he has to start coming downhill. Well, once he sees his pass, it's too late. Mr. Ferguson's out there by himself. Two-hand grab. Yeah. Easy touchdown catch in the red zone. Absolutely love it.
Love to see it from Jake Ferg. But you love to see Dak Prescott getting everybody involved, especially Brandon Cooks, a guy that I have been waiting to see get involved in this offense, and he just cooked on Sunday.
Ooh, he made it hot. He made it hot.
Made it hot.
He made it hot. And, you know, you were talking about some of the stats that Prescott had on versus man-to-man coverage. Yep. And this is a man-to-man coverage, right? So you got all these guys locked up out here, right? Man, he's actually taking him, okay? Thing is, they only rush 2. So when you're watching this, you figure, how is there any way that they got 9 guys in pass coverage? How do you make it happen? Well, if you watch Cooks, he takes an outside release, kind of leans into him a little bit, heads right back to the corner. Kind of looks like that pass play we just showed for Ferguson. Great throw by Dak Prescott against man-to-man coverage. Perfect timing, perfect execution.
Yeah, that stat is this is the first time that Dak has faced majority of man coverage this season, and he completed 12 of 18 passes for 3 yards. Dak is absolutely playing lights out, especially this offense right now. But this defense, no surprise there from Deron Bland getting that pick.
No, I was waiting for one a little early. I guess we're all getting kind of spoiled because I thought he was going to have a pick 6 at some point, just like you're just waiting for it to happen. But what he does on this play, so this is, you know, when you're on offense, you're kind of looking for guys to, they're thinking they're going to be playing man, right? The thing that happens here is they run a nice route, so they run a post route trying to get him over the top, and then they always run a drag route underneath. So typically they're thinking Bland is going to go with him and take him. That's not what happens, right? This guy ends up taking the drag, and he goes back. That's very hard to do because he has to get out of there and recover, take the post that Donovan Wilson is just leaving from. So he's just running. If you look at it, now he's playing wide receiver, tracking the ball. Guess what he says? Give me that. I'm going up high to the high point, and I'm going to take that for another interception this season.
Yeah, you're seeing those wide receiver skills pay off for Deron Bland. His 5th interception of the season, already tying a season high that he had last year. But honestly, if I'm Tommy DeVito, I'm not throwing towards Malik Hooker and Deron Bland. That's double trouble right there.
Oh, man, it's not good.
Not good at all. But thank you so much, George. We're here to wrap things up right here on Cowboys Flashback. Up next.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, an NRG company.
A complete dominant win in AT&T Stadium on Sunday, putting the Cowboys at 6-3 in the season. They added more salt to the wounds of an already struggling Giants team. The Giants have only been outscored 79-23 in the past 2 weeks. The Cowboys controlled every area of the game and were nearly perfect in the red zone. Up next, the Cowboys travel to Carolina for a noon matchup against the Panthers, another struggling team sitting at 1-8. The Cowboys lead the all-time series 10-5, 5-3 out in Carolina. And the Cowboys have only won 2 of 5 road games this season. This could be the chance to get to 500 on the road. We'll see you, though, back here on Cowboys Flashback, same place, same time next week.